One of the symbols is Sunsum. This is another Adinkra symbol. The term for Sunsum is the term for spirit in the Akan language. And then you have the term, of course, Okra. Okra is the term for soul, divine consciousness, the divinity in the head region. So this is an Okrakonmuade. That is a golden emblem. The symbol is the same symbol, but they, the Akrafo, or the soul washers of the king, the Ohene or the queen mother and so forth, sometimes they'll have a golden version of that symbol and they wear it around their neck and so forth. But the key is the symbol itself. This one just happens to be a gold version, but this is the same symbol down here. The key is the symbol itself. So you have the symbol for the Kra, which is this fourfold division. And then you have the symbol for the Sunsum, and you have the fourfold division inside the symbol for the Sunsum. So you have the Sunsum, which is the spirit body. The Okra, this fourfold division, is inside of the spirit body. In the same fashion, you have a spirit body, you have a physical body, and then you have your brain, which regulates order within your physical body. You have a spirit body, and in the head region of your spirit body is the Kra, the soul, the orderly, the divine consciousness, the divinity in the head region that regulates order within the spirit body. So, as far as the ideogram, we have the Sunsum, which is representative of the spirit body, and you have the Kra, which is inside that. It's a combination in the true sense. This is the Kra symbol itself. And then you have the Ohene Aniwa, which is in reality basically a combination of those two, of the Sunsum and the Okra in one symbol. So Ohene means king and Aniwa means eyes. So they say the eyes of the king. The eyes of the king are all around, meaning the king is all seeing. The king, there's also the proverb Ohene ye Owia, which means the king is the sun. Just like the sunship or the solar kingship and queenship of ancient Khanit and Kemet, the sun is in the center, radiating energy and so forth. So the eyes of the king have to do with the, the solar, the energy that permeates all of the entire solar system. We're all dependent on that energy and so forth. It's all powerful and so forth with respect to us. So this Ohene Aniwa symbol, the eyes of the king, like the different phases of the sun that can move all the way around the entire structure, the infinite structure and so forth, the all-seeing eyes or vision of the king. The Okra has to do with sovereignty, but on an individual level, it's talking about the sovereignty of the self. So you have the spirit body, your unique structure, just like your physical body is unique. Nobody has a body specifically like yours, but you have a spirit body which is unique to you. You also have a Kra, soul, a divine consciousness, a spiritual brain, and within that spiritual brain is the divine function you came to execute. Just like in your physical brain, the blueprint of everything that should happen in your body is wired within the physical brain. In the spirit brain or the spiritual head, your divine function, how you are to operate in the world, what kind of cell in the great divine body you are, how you need to execute your function, that is all wired within the Okra, the orderly, and so forth. So you have the spirit body, and then you have the Kra central within the spirit body. You have the spirit body, and you have the Kra on the inside, and the all-seeing eyes around the, the symbol. So this is an actual cosmogram for Akan people, the Sunsum and the Okra combined. We've always had our own cosmogram. Some people are aware of the cosmogram of the Bakongo people, but we've always had the similar thing. This is where they get the whole notion of, in so-called Wicca and so forth, they have the solstices and equinoxes, and then they have the midpoints like, Samhain and Beltane and all of that in between. That's taken from our ancient symbol. When you look in Buddhism, you'll see the wheel of Dharma, the Dharma, Chakra, and so forth, and it looks like this. That comes from our ancient culture. You'll find that these Sunsum, these symbols, these Adinkra symbols are found The root symbols are found in the Medutu and ancient Khanit and so forth. That includes many of these symbols. This Adinkra Ahene symbol, the concentric circles you'll find in ancient Khanit as a symbol for Ra, as well as Ra'ed and so forth. You'll find various symbols of the Adinkra in the Medutu of Khanit. So when it shows up in Buddhism, thousands of years later, we already were utilizing these symbols, and we continue to use them. When we migrated from Khanit, went to West Afuraitkaitnit, reestablished the Akana Empire, and continue to use these symbols. So, but as you can see, they're copied from quote unquote nature, the natural manifestation of sound vibrations that replicate these or manifest these symbols, and we replicate them through artistry and so forth, but we utilize them ritually to bring in the same force in creation that generates the D1 sound vibration, that generates this pattern in creation, and we replicate that. That same force will be drawn ritually into the ritual space for spirit possession and spirit communication. So we get our symbols from the divinities as they manifest in creation, and we continue to use them. So when you see this symbol, and you see it in Buddhism as the Dharma Kakra, that's coming from our culture thousands of years prior. So here's the piece. So we continue to use the symbol, but in our Akan tradition, we have a different schematic. This is the Okrakonmuade. This is the Okra symbol. And on the outside is the Sunsum. In Akan, the term for red is Kaka. The term for yellow is Bofua, and also Akokosorade. The word for black is Tuntum. The word for white is Fufua. And these are the four major ritual cultures in our Akan tradition. And that's passed over into the Hoodoo tradition. So you have certain, ritual colors, even manifestation of the energy within the body and so forth. You have dark brown people with red undertones, dark brown people with black undertones. You have dark brown people who are a little bit lighter and they have the yellowish undertones and so forth. And then we even have the people in our community who are albinos and so forth. They're still Afurakani, Afuraitkaitnit people, but they still have that, that condition on the outside and so forth. So that shows up within our population. Having nothing to do with mixture from the whites and their offspring, we have these four different colors, even within the energetic expression that manifests in the phenotype of the people. You have, for example, in the Oyoko clan, the Oyoko Kaka, the red Oyoko people, the Oyoko Tuntum, the black Oyoko people. It's not because some of them mixed with the whites and their offspring. It's talking about the energetic temperament connected to certain divinities, certain fire divinities, generating that hot, fiery red energy that manifests within the phenotype of the people, or some cooler energy that manifests as black and so forth, the black undertones manifesting within the phenotype of the people. The Fufua, which is white in Akan, Koko, which is red in Akan, Akokosorade or Bofua, which is yellow in Akan, and inclusive of gold as well, Sika, and black, Tuntum in Akan. These are the major ritual colors in the Akan tradition. But they find expression, of course, in the Akan tradition in North America, which is the Hoodoo tradition. So the Okomfo, or the Komfo man, or Komfo woman, the Komfo doctor, and so forth, became known as the Kofo doctor, the Gofo doctor, and the Gofa doctor that uses the Gofa dust in the Hoodoo tradition. People don't know where the term Gofa comes from and so forth. Some will say Gufa or Gofa, but that's Gofo, Komfo, and Kumfo, different pronunciations. You'll find some say Okumfo, that is a class of priests and priestesses in Akan. Some pronounce it Okumfo or Okumfwa in the Asante dialect, Okumfwa, with the diphthong in the Akwamu dialect, Okumfo, and so forth. So Okumfwa or Okomfwa, that became Gofwa, Gofa, or Gufa in the Hoodoo tradition. The Gufa doctor with the Gufa dust. Some people just say, well, it's graveyard dust, or it's rattlesnake head dust, or it's, camwood dust or brick dust and so forth, various kinds of dust. But you'll notice when they're talking about these various kinds of dust, it goes back to the sacred Akan ritual colors. It goes back to koko, red, bofua, yellow, tuntun, black, or fufuo, which is white. And these different colors have different effects upon our spirit body, but also physiologically for healing. This notion of color therapy, certain colors utilized to realign the spirit body and so forth. When deities possess, they have their own specific colors, sacred colors and so forth. They generate that kind of energy. We are imbued with that energy, and that allows us to realign ourselves if we're out of harmony with order, but also physically. So if you look at a chart here, on the mineral side, ritually you will see that people use black charcoal. They'll put the black powder on the face when someone's possessed to show what specific kind of divinity or ancestral spirit has come forward that carries that kind of energy. There's yellow ochre that is used and so forth, put on the face and so forth, red ochre, as well as white kaolin, which is white chalk, white powder put on the face and so forth. But these are also used medicinally for healing, externally as well as internally.